Welcome back, everybody. You are listening to The Introverted Nerd Watches. I'm your host, Reese, and today I watched Season 3, Episode 10 of Saved by the Bell, Model Students. We are just rolling on through this rewatch. I'm happy about it. It's exciting. We got past Jesse's song, and we are slowly inching closer to my episodes. The Malibu Sands Beach Club episodes. That's what I'm waiting for. That's where I will come alive and I will blossom from my cocoon. I'm mixing metaphors, but you get what I'm saying. I love those episodes. So it's been a good week. Or it's a good Monday. I'm recording this on Monday. I'm sort of coming down from my Black Panther high. I've been calling everybody colonizers. Every white person that I see, I'm like, oh my God, these colonizers. So if you go see Black Panther, you'll know what I'm talking about if you've seen Black Panther. And what have you been doing if you haven't seen Black Panther? Like, come on, get your life together. You be better. See Black Panther, be a better person. What was I going to say? Oh yeah. You can, if you want to help me out, please go to Apple Podcasts and subscribe to the podcast. Leave me a 5-star review. I will read it on the next episode, whenever that happens to be. You can follow me on Twitter at TheIntrovertedNerd. Follow me on Instagram at TheIntrovertedNerd, and go in like the Facebook page, facebook.com/TheIntrovertedNerd. And if you want to leave me some feedback for these Saved by the Bell episodes, go to theintrovertednerd@gmail.com and I don't know, write to your heart's content. Just make sure you leave the episode name just make sure you identify the episode so I know what you're talking about. So, Model Students. This episode. Okay, so this is everything about Zack that is terrible happens in this episode. Like, just all of his bad traits are just right here. Like, usually it's kind of spread out, but no. Here he's a creep that, spies on the girls. He exploits them. He's a liar. He gaslights, what's her name? Kelly. Like, he is terrible in this episode. And of course, he's forgiven at the end. So just in case you thought Zack might face some consequences for his actions, nope. This ain't that show. So we start this episode because Kelly got a job at the school store because we know that her family's broke, and I don't know if Kelly's the oldest child, but her ass is old enough to have a job. Apparently, that's what Mr. Kapowski said, because we know how terrible that guy is. So Kelly is forced to get a job. She got a job at the school store that just rose up out of nowhere. I have no idea where this school store came from, because it's like, it's the school store, but it's like, I don't know, they're treating Bayside like it's a college campus. So, there's a school store. Like, okay, did anybody ever go to a high school that had a school store? Maybe I'm wrong, because the school store thing seems like a college thing. A college thing or a private school thing. Bayside is a public school in California, but I don't know, maybe you have school stores if you go to like a rich school. So I don't know. Kelly works there. She works there with all the nerds. The nerds run the store, and the nerds are running the store into the ground. Nobody goes because they're selling shit like neon pocket protectors. Nobody wants to go to the school store, and Kelly doesn't even want to work there. She's really, I mean, the nerds are kind of dicks. They're kind of terrible, but before you see them being terrible, you see Kelly like walking around, and one comes close to her. One of the nerds comes close to her, and she backs away like that dude is like contagious or something. Like, she doesn't want to be anywhere near them. She was like, I was like, Kelly, don't be a dick. Don't be an asshole. These are like, they're human beings. You can treat them like they're human beings, but it doesn't even matter because the nerds turn out to be douchebags. So I have to like change my opinion about them. But before that, Kelly's like, she's walking around like afraid to touch anything. Like, girl, calm down. So the nerds are running the store into the ground, and Zack comes right in, and he's like, no. Zack comes in and he's like, oh shit, this like, why isn't anybody here? This place is like, it's empty. The other people in our crew come in and they say, like, Kelly, you're going to lose your job if they don't start selling stuff in this store. So we have to find a way to get business to come into the school store. And I'm like, why would you need to do that? It's the school store. If you're selling like just anything that anybody wants, if you're selling food, then you will have customers. But apparently this is like some sort of department store. They don't sell food. Like I said, they're selling pocket protectors and seashell clocks and shit like that. Like, who would sell that to a bunch of students? A bunch of teenagers at that. Like, what? This school store is just a place where the apparently the school board doesn't mind letting the students just fuck around to learn how to run a business, I guess. I don't know what the mindset is of the school board for Bayside, but okay. So they decide that they need to take complete control of everything in this school, and because they already have the radio station, like they just sort of they forced Mr. Belding to reopen that radio station. They basically own the Max because they have any events that they want to have, they have them at the Max, and they do it again in this episode too. So they own the Max, they run the school radio station, and now they're about to run the school store because they decide that since they need to run it because they want to help Kelly out, they go to Mr. Belding, and they basically choose Zack because Mr. Belding and Zack are peers now. I said that a few episodes ago. Like, they're peers. They're basically equals in this school at this point. They co-run the school. Mr. Belding is the principal and name only, and Zack is the real power behind everything. So he goes to Mr. Belding and says, hey, fire these fucking nerds. I don't want them in that store. We want to do cool shit with that store and, just basically get it together. And Mr. Belding, he tries to resist. I guess I'll give him credit for that. But he doesn't know what's going on in the store. He doesn't know what they're selling. He doesn't know anything. So who is the adult management for this store? Is it just the nerds and Kelly deciding? Because they actually vote earlier when Zack first walks into the store, they vote on whether they're going to on some product that they're going to sell in the store, and Kelly votes against whatever they want to sell, and the three nerds sort of overrule her, and that's when I decided they were dicks. But the three nerds sort of overrule her, and they're like, shut up, pretty girl, and go stand in the corner and be pretty while we smart nerds make all the decisions around here. So Mr. Belding gives Zack a week to sort of redo the store, to sort of make the store profitable. And, that's sort of the deal that they make. I don't even know why Mr. Belding does this, because I don't know. I don't even know why I'm questioning it. It's Zack. Of course he does it. So Zack's big idea, because he starts scheming right off the top. So he reopens the store. Mr. Belding tells him to tell the nerds to come to his office, and Zack gets on the school loudspeaker and tells them to come to his office because, they suck and they're fired and all that. And so he redoes the store. He like restocks the store from, I don't know what stock there is, but okay. He restocks and they reopen the store. They have done zero advertisement for, telling the students that the store is under new management. I don't know. Zack just thought he was magical or something, and that he just had to walk in like he was the store fairy godmother, and he just had to walk in. Everything would just be magically better because Zack walked in. Okay. They're not teaching these kids anything at school because he did no advertisement. They just opened the doors and expected people to walk in. And when they didn't walk in, Zack goes straight to scheming, like to thinking up a scheme to get people to come in instead of doing advertisement. It would have took 10 minutes to make a couple of signs to say that the store is managed by, this dude, Zack. Everybody loves him. He's a good looking guy. Kelly Kapowski works here. She's the baddest chick in this school and you all love her. So come shop at the school store now. It would have taken, that is the only thing it would have taken, but nope. Zack gets the bright idea to take pictures of the girls' swim team because Kelly, Lisa, and Jessie are on the swim team. Why is Lisa on the swim team? We get Lisa's a cheerleader, but we get how is Kelly doing every single sport? Just like Slater. Slater's doing every single sport too. Kelly plays volleyball. She's the head cheerleader and she's on the swim team. Where does she get the time for this? And how does Jessie have time for this either? She's on the student government. She's like the student class president. And she's on the swim team, and she's like a part-time cheerleader whenever they need a cheerleader to fill in, or whenever they can't pay for like an extra to to be a cheerleader, they get Jessie to do it. So how do these people have all this time to do all this? I don't know, but they make time. They run the school, so I guess they make their own schedule. So he gets Screech to secretly take pictures of the girls' swim team. It's in secret. They don't know that he's taking their pictures. And what Zack does is he has calendars made of the swim team. He makes every girl one of the months of the swim team. And actually December is Mr. Belding's head on Jessie's body. And he has these large cutouts of these, sort of life-size cutouts of Lisa, Jessie, and Kelly in the store, because he's selling these calendars to all the boys. So Lisa, Jessie, and Kelly, did I call her Lisa? Lisa, Jessie, and Kelly walk in. They see all the dudes in line. And then they see the cutouts and they're like, what the fuck are you doing, Zack? How are you selling pictures of us? You can't sell pictures of us. Stop it. Stop selling it. They go to Mr. Belding. Mr. Belding grows some balls and finally puts his foot down and says Zack has to stop selling that stuff. And then out of nowhere, some random dude in a really like bad blazer, like a Paula Poundstone type of blazer and a mustard yellow shirt. The dude he was so 90s. He just screamed 90s. He went to a store named the 90s to get his entire outfit. And he's wearing jeans with a blazer. That never looks good. Don't do that ever. So that's what that dude is wearing. It turns out he's like a photographer for some sort of teen magazine, and somehow he got the calendar, and he looks like he's 40. What the fuck are you doing with a calendar of teenage girls, underage girls? This is not, it's so creepy. when you think about it, just for 2 seconds, it's like, oh my God, this dude is creepy. What is he doing with this? He doesn't have a kid in this school. And how are random adults always walking into Bayside? This guy is completely random. Zack really did he put them really out there. He made them open to all kinds of like sexual predators and just all types of shit. I didn't even think about that while I was watching it. I just thought about that just now, but it's like, oh, he just put them on display for all the dirty old men. Just ugh, Zack, you suck. Yuck. So this guy walks in, he walks into Mr. Belding's office. It's not like he just walked into the school. He walks into the school straight to the principal's office and walks in without knocking or anything. He just walks right into the principal's office and is like, hey, I see this calendar you got here. I'm from a magazine and I want to take pictures of these girls for the magazine. So I need to choose 3. Help me out here. And it's like, what? You walk in, you're a dirty old man with pictures of teenage girls, with a calendar of these teenage girls, and you just walk in and you want to take more pictures of them? Okay. And then, this is where officially that Zack is like, he's like head dick in charge. He's the head guy, because the dude doesn't even talk to the principal, to the obvious adult, like Mr. Belding with his male pattern baldness on his head. He's the obvious adult in the room. And the guy almost exclusively speaks to Zack, because he asks who made the calendar, and everybody points to Zack. But Mr. Belding, the adult, just lets this guy, sort of make a deal with Zack right in front of him. He just talks right in front of him. So he says, I'm looking at your calendar. This is like really good work. We don't ever see the calendar. We just see the cutouts of Lisa, Jesse, and Kelly. So like, I don't know. I guess we have to take this guy's word for it that this is a good calendar. What makes a good calendar though? I mean, Screech is the one that took the pictures, because of course Screech is the one that always does Zack's dirty work. So Screech is the one that took the pictures. I mean, Screech does have a dark room in his bedroom, so maybe he's a good photographer. I don't know. I'll take his word for it. I actually end up liking this guy in the end. Aside from his like questionable, might be a pervert tendencies, I actually end up liking him because he calls Zack out. Anyway, this guy is like, hey, I need 3 girls to I'm going to photograph them and they're going to be in the magazine. I need to choose 3 of these girls from this calendar. And Jessie, who was, the feminist and was like, what is she? I was about to say Slater. Zack, she's like, Zack, it's terrible. You invaded our privacy taking these pictures. And Jessie once again goes back on her principles, and it's like, as soon as the guy says, I need 3 girls to be in this magazine, she's like, fuck that. Look at these titties. I'm right here. And so when they're like not mad at Zack anymore, when the guy says, which of these 3 girls should I choose for the magazine, Zack looks back at them and he's like, well, I'll tell him it should be you if you like forgive me or something like that. And they immediately are like, forget it. We're not mad at you anymore, Zack. And Zack tells the guy, you should choose these 3 girls. And then we go into this long, it felt like 5 minutes to me. It was probably like 2 minutes, but it was just this long segment of a photo shoot with Jessie, Lisa, and Kelly. And it's just so damn long. And they do the photo shoot they do it in the hallway of Bayside. They do it in the school store, and they do it at the Max. So, and they own the Max. So, of course, they can do that. They can shut down the Max once again. How does the Max make any money? Max is already having money problems. We already had an entire damn episode where they're doing like fundraisers for him to try to pay his rent. And he's closing down the store for these kids. Once again, he did it again. He did it last episode too, so they could practice their stupid music video thing. Oh, Max. I thought Zack was the only one that never learned anything, but apparently nobody ever learns anything. They just keep going through life, making the same mistakes over and over again. But so these photo shoots, at the end of these photo shoots, the guy comes back and he says that he chooses one girl. He has to choose one girl from between the three of them to do the anniversary issue. And it's like this big modeling contract thing, blah, blah, blah. And of course, Kelly is the one that's chosen. But when you see it, Kelly is just automatically the best one. And that hurts me because you know how much I love Lisa. But Kelly looks like an actual like teenage girl, like a cute teenage girl that you might have seen in a magazine in the early 90s. Lisa looks really, they have her in Lisa clothes that I usually love, but it looks really ridiculous because they have her in these like weird hats. And I don't know, maybe it was a religious thing with Lark Voorhees where she like didn't wear, like she wasn't like into wearing like the midriff bearing things that Kelly was wearing in this photo shoot thing. But they put her in like giant, she looks like a giant 4-year-old. It's like a ton of ruffles and it just looks ridiculous, especially against Kelly, who looks like really cute in these pictures. And don't even get me started on Jessie. Poor Jessie. They don't make her cute at all. She's wearing, okay, if you were like alive during the 90s, you either had or you knew somebody that had a pair of jeans that had like leather or suede patches on them. You know what I'm talking about, right? You have to know what I'm talking about. I had a pair of jeans that had purple like a purple leather, like not real leather, purple pleather patch on them. And it just goes down the front and it's just like this weird it was just, and that's what Jessie is wearing, except hers is suede and she has on a whole denim outfit, but they have like suede patches on it. It's so terrible and it's not cute at all. And she looks like a 40-year-old woman. She looks like a woman that you would see and like what is one of those like catalogs that's for like older women? She looks like a woman from an older woman catalog. She's wearing another outfit where they dress her where I guess you're supposed to think that she's like this cute schoolgirl, but instead she looks like Mr. Belding's secretary because they have her in like a weird like green blazer with the matching like culottes shorts. You know what culottes, right? My grandma used to want me to wear those all the time. She would always talk about culottes. But that's the outfit she's wearing. And they have her wearing like these glasses that I swear my grandmother had the exact same glasses during that time. It was just, it's a terrible outfit. She doesn't look cute at all. And she's taking these pictures for a teenage girl magazine. And it's like, no, if she was in the same picture with Kelly, she would be Kelly's mother in the she would be Kelly's mother in the picture. She does not look like a teenage girl here. And it's so terrible because I know that she's actually a teenager when she's filming the show. It's so bad. And so at the end of it, of course, Kelly, when dude comes back, I forget what the dude's name is, but the photographer dude, when he comes back to the Max, because all of their business transactions happen at the Max, he comes back to the Max and he tells Kelly, we pick you to be a part of our anniversary issue. You she gets to go to Paris for a month. She gets like a modeling contract. Like, it's a lot of stuff that she gets. The main part is that she's going away. She gets to go away to Paris for a month for this photo shoot. And I'm like, what kind of photo shoot takes place over a month? I mean, even for a magazine, photo shoots, and I'm not a model. I get all of my modeling knowledge from America's Next Top Model and Project Runway. So take that for whatever you will. But you do not do a month-long photo shoot for a magazine. And why do okay. It's so crazy because they treat this month-long excursion that she's going to have. It's supposed to be a modeling thing, but it's almost like this like foreign exchange thing that she's doing. It's so weird. So Kelly gets like this great opportunity, and I'm assuming that there's some money that goes along with this. And Zack is like, what the fuck did I do? I took my hot girlfriend and I showed her to the world, and now the world wants her. And he's like, no, what am I going to do? If Kelly goes to Paris, she's going to forget all about me. So what do I do to keep her around? I have to ruin her life. Like he does everybody else. So what that means for Kelly is that he is going to, like, Kelly has to do like pre-photo, like, I don't know what all of this is. They had Kelly like looking cute, and they just wanted to take a lot of pictures of her in this episode apparently. So that's basically all she does. And Zack is like, the other two girls are jealous at first, but they like quickly get over it, and they get, they're happy for her. And when Kelly comes back to school, because of course her parents said yes, because the guy told her, we're doing all this stuff month long, blah, 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 all this prize. Go talk to your parents. If they say yes, great. And she goes to talk to her parents. And I mean, I guess, they need the money. So whatever Kelly has to do to make that money is whatever. They got like 6 kids. They can't be fucking around. If they got one kid that can get out there and make some cash, they're like, yeah, Kelly, go to Paris, do what you got to do, make that money so we can get our shit together. But it's so weird that the guy didn't want to go to Kelly's house and talk to her parents himself. And that's why I know this shit is shady. It's so fucking shady because he doesn't want to talk to her parents. He has a boss that doesn't talk to her parents. He sends Kelly home with like a permission slip, like it's a fucking school trip. And, for her month-long trip to Paris. And it's like, okay, whatever. If you can do it, great. If you can't, whatever. We'll choose Lisa or Jesse. And her parents say yes because they're terrible parents and they don't have any questions for this guy at all. And so what Zack starts doing is like putting he just starts floating little rumors around. Like Kelly's on the swim team, like I said before, and if she leaves, they won't have anybody to be the anchor of the swim team. So Zack sort of throws that out there, and Lisa and Jesse are like the head of the swim team, so they have to find somebody to anchor. Kelly is Slater's what's it called? His science partner. They're doing a science project together, and she's his partner. And Zack is like, oh, well, what is Slater going to do if you leave Kelly? You can't leave, you can't leave Slater here. He needs to get an A on this project. And Slater is actually really chill about it. He's like, you know what, Kelly, it's cool. I can find a new partner. It doesn't matter. But Zack is like, oh no, Slater, you're such a dummy. You're not going to pass if you don't have Kelly there. Like, Kelly, do you want Slater to fail? do you want Slater to fail science and, be in the 10th grade forever? Like, what are you doing? You're a terrible friend. And, Screech's birthday is coming up. And if Kelly leaves, she'll miss Screech's birthday. And, that would be you would be a terrible friend if you skip out on Screech's birthday, Kelly. Like what the fuck are you doing? So, he sort of floats that stuff out there. And then when Kelly gets really busy, Zack, she's not spending as much time with her friends as she used to, and they're sort of missing her, and they want to spend time with her before she leaves. So she tells Zack, like, hey, tell everybody to come to the photo shoot so we can spend time together after, so they can see the photo shoot, and then we can spend time together afterwards. And Zack lies and says that he's going to do it. But when he talks to his other friends, he's like, either Jesse or Lisa actually make the suggestion that they should go to the photo shoot. And Zack says, Zack is such a piece of shit. He says, I suggested that to Kelly, but she said you shouldn't come because it would be unprofessional. So they get a little, they're not even mad at Kelly. They're just like, they're just kind of like bummed out that they can't spend time with her before she leaves. And so Zack is the one that winds up going to the photo shoot alone. And because, this is all just another step in his plan. And when Kelly sees him, they sort of stop the photo shoot because a photographer dude is like, oh, this is why I don't fuck with teenagers, because they can't concentrate when their friends are around. So he actually gives her a little break so she can talk to Zack. And when she wants to know why nobody showed up, he was like, he actually tells her, like, they're pissed at you. They wanted to spend time with you. You don't really have time for them, or whatever he says. He makes it sound like they're mad at her, and she gets really sad. And when dude tries to come back and continue the photo shoot, Kelly can't concentrate and she ends up running off. And Zack is like smiling, his Zack smile, his dickhead smile that, finally I got her all to myself. My girlfriend had a chance to have a better life. She already had to break a date with me to the prom because she couldn't afford it. And she finally gets a chance to make some money. But nope, no, I can't have that. I can't have my girlfriend doing like good things with her life because she's only with me because I keep her down. I'm abusive and I keep her down. So Kelly runs off and photographer dude is like, so what the fuck happened with Kelly? And Zack is like, I don't know what happened to her. She doesn't really want to go to Paris. And photographer dude is like, really? She doesn't want to go to Paris? And then he does the greatest thing ever. And he reads the shit out of Zack. He's like, so does Kelly not want to go to Paris? Or do you not want her to go to Paris? Because the way I see it, you're just an asshole that ruined a good opportunity for your girlfriend because you're afraid that she might meet somebody else while she's away from you. And Zack's like, Zack just really has nothing to say to that. He's like, he basically just turns tail and he's like, he doesn't know what to say because he's not used to anybody calling him out on his bullshit. He's so used to his friends that he's already like groomed and beat down, and they have no will of their own and they can't, fight back against him anymore. He's just ruined them. And you have this guy that's on the outside that immediately sees what Zack does and like sees his bullshit for what it is, calls him out, and is like, you ruined a good opportunity for your girlfriend. You know you were a piece of shit for that, right? And Zack is like, he actually experiences a human emotion and feels bad for what he does to Kelly for gaslighting her and the entire week, making her think that all her friends are like pissed with her. So he goes to her house and Kelly's trying to call Jesse and nobody's picking up. So she is really thinking that none of her friends are like fucking with her anymore. And Zack walks in and he's like, I don't even know if he actually apologizes, but I'm going to give him, no, I'm not giving him the benefit of the doubt. I can't remember whether he apologizes or not, but he walks in and he explains to Kelly like what he did. He's like afraid that he's going to lose her and he can't compete with Paris. And this turns into, Zack is a piece of shit. He fucks up this opportunity for Kelly, or kind of, he just makes it more difficult. And it turns into Kelly trying to make him feel better about her doing something that's good for her. You don't know how fucking, like, I was just like wanting to pull my hair out because it immediately, he goes to apologize to her because he was fucking wrong. And it turns into Kelly like making him feel better, like telling Zack that nobody can compete with him. He's Zack. She really cares about him. She kisses him. And it's like, get the fuck out of here, Zack. Just get all the way the fuck out of here. You don't, like, Kelly, you deserve better. I'm not your biggest fan, but you deserve better than this. Zack is so shitty. It's so terrible. It's like he's so manipulative that he turns this into an opportunity for Kelly to basically apologize to him for having something good happen to her. But it turns out that she tells him that she's going anyway and they're going to stay together because she's stupid and she doesn't know any better. And it turns out Zack has all the friends there and they come and they party with her and blah, blah, blah. Happy ending. Zack is going to end this by dating a supermodel because, I don't know, this never comes up again, I don't think. I forget what the magazine is called, but it's not a real magazine. Of course, I don't know why. It's like an American, it's like a teenage girl magazine. I forget what it's called, but it's basically like generic teenager magazine. And so Kelly's going to Paris, and I don't know if I haven't watched the next episode yet, so I don't know whether she's in the next episode. Probably not. This never comes up again. I don't even know why. I don't even know why I'm thinking about like it. They really, I could be wrong, but I can't remember this this like little subplot of Kelly being a supermodel ever coming up again. Yeah, I can't remember, but I want to make note to see if it ever comes up again. Because I don't think it does. It's so crazy. Like, only on TV does like a girl that's like 5'2" become a supermodel. From my days watching America's Next Top Model, I know that the shortest model is like my height, like 5'8", and like even 5'8" is considered too short to be a model. And it's like Kate Moss, because that's the only name that ever came up for a supermodel that was like sub 5, like 5'9", 5'10", or something like that. Kate Moss is like the ideal short model, and you have to be like better than Kate Moss. And I mean, I don't think Kelly, I can't remember. I don't know. Kate Moss was, I guess was cute in her day. I don't know, but Kelly is like, she's not a model. Let's just be honest. She's like 5 foot tall. She's not a model. So pretty girl, not a model. At least that's what Tyra would say. She doesn't smize. So that's the end of the episode. And we are on to, I can't remember what the next episode is, but we are on to another episode. And Black Lightning comes back this week, so you're getting a Black Lightning episode. I'm excited about that. The Flash comes back this week, and I am actually I'm trying to decide whether I want to put out like a Twitter poll or like a Facebook poll to see what people would be interested in me covering next. But then I think, well, I don't really want to follow what other people want me to do. I just want to watch what I want to watch next. And there's a few things coming up. There's like Jessica Jones. Legion is coming back. I could do Atlanta because Atlanta comes back, but that comes back too soon, I think, for me to start right now. Because I think that comes back in like 3 days. And what's today? Today is the 26th of February. And I think Atlanta comes out in like 3 days. So I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. But I could do like a season review of that. I just got ideas. I think that I'm definitely, I don't want to make any promises, but Jessica Jones is the one that I want to do. And that comes up later. That comes out on like March 9th or something like that. I can't remember the exact date, but, so I don't know. We'll see. So before we end this, I would give you the ways you can get in touch with me. Talk to me on Twitter at TheIntrovertedNerd. If you just want to stay up on what's happening on the podcast, follow me on on Twitter at TheIntrovertedNerd. If you want to just follow me personally on Twitter, you can follow me at the Ms. THEMS introvert, and I live tweet over there. Last night was a lot of fun. I live tweeted The Walking Dead because that came back, that shit show. Oh, don't even get me started. I need to do a Walking Dead podcast because I need to talk about all the problems I have with that. Oh, so many problems on that show. But yeah, I live tweet that show over there, and I live tweet a lot of other stuff. I've been binging Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. That show is so fucking good. If you don't watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., you should be watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I'm not up on the new season, so don't spoil me on anything. I'm only on season 3, but it's so good. I'm so mad at myself for not catching up on that show from the beginning. I'm just so pissed at myself. I need to do better because that show is so damn good. And I've been reading Black Panther, the Christopher Priest run. I just started it of Black Panther, and I've been like live tweeting that. And I've been reading the Darth Vader comic book. That Darth Vader is so good. Just all versions of it. I've been reading I'm reading Vader Down because I have Marvel Unlimited. So I've been reading that's how I've been reading the Black Panther, and that I'm not even getting to that. Just follow me on Twitter at the Ms. Introvert if you want to get into if you want to see what else I'm saying about this. On Instagram, I'm at TheIntrovertedNerd, and like the Facebook page, facebook.com/TheIntrovertedNerd. And if you want to send me some feedback about, Saved by the Bell or Black Lightning, because there is a ton of shit going on in Black Lightning. Tobias knows Gamby. They have some sort of weird relationship going on. Anissa has her superhero outfit. Jefferson has a bunch of shit going on with him. He's like passing out. There's tons of shit going on. So email me at theintrovertednerd@gmail.com, and you can, tell me all your theories. Tell me what you think is going on with Jefferson. Tell me what you think is going on between Tobias and Gamby. How old is Tobias? So many things going on. So email me there and, we'll talk it all out. So until next episode, which will be Black Lightning, talk to you later.